Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I am Priscilla Leona, producer and host of the show, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. For 10 years, we've been ranked the #1 entertainment career advice internet radio show, and this show is for you. If you listen to or are currently pursuing or dreaming about a career in the entertainment industry, our guests will help you by providing tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in a wide variety of show business professions. Now, the guests on our show include Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners, reality TV stars, film and music producers, film, television, theater directors, casting directors, talent managers, screenwriters, actors, singers, songwriters, comedians, script supervisors, stunt people, and we throw in a damn entertainment attorney around the holiday season just because they're people too. If you missed any of our shows, please go to our archive page on the latalkradio.com website and search for our show title, Question Reality, or search by my name, Priscilla Leona. And all of the Question Reality shows are also available for free on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.com under the podcast section. And please make sure you get our free mobile app on the homepage of the latalkradio.com website. It's located on the right-hand side towards the bottom, so you just have to scroll. And finally, if you want to be a guest or refer someone to be a guest on the show to promote and showcase themselves, their products, and genuinely help listeners with great career advice, we are currently booking guests through December. So go to our official website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com, and click the contact link to submit for interview consideration. Now, I am so excited today because we have this gorgeous gentleman on the show that I have literally known, I'm going to say realistically, I think we were introduced by my friend Ernest Thomas from, you remember him from What's Happening. And, yes, and what other show is he? What's Happening? And then he was on Everybody Hates Chris. And then he's done so many movies. He's like an icon in the television and movie business. Ernest Thomas, he introduced me to one of our guests today, and I don't know what happened, but we've been trying to get him on the show for realistically at least 10 years, I think. 10 years at least. I've had the show for 10 years, so it's got to be at least 10 years. But we have him today on the show. His name is Alain Matz. He is a director and writer. We also have another little hottie in the show. You know, I only book hot-looking men. You know that's my definite criteria. You don't get on this show if you got like a honey boo-boo thing going on. You definitely need at least 3 to 4 teeth, at least. But we have a gorgeous man on the show today. And I hope I pronounce his name. You know, if it has like 4 or 5 letters in it, it's like, what? What is that? No, not really. His name is Rustin Knutson. Yes.
That's good.
See, my Albert has done it again. Thank you. What? I am going to fire him one day, husband or no husband. He never gets the applause right. We also have
but he's a hottie too.
I know. Well, we've announced that for 10 years. He's a little hottie too. But we also have another lady joining us. She is on her way. LA traffic, obviously. Her name is Briza, and I hope I pronounced this right. Covarrubias?
We're going to go with that.
Yes. Yes.
I've known her for a couple couple of years now, and I'm still not quite sure.
Yeah, that's a long one. That's a long name. Briza Covarrubias. So she is an actress, and they are all part of Alan's latest film, which is called Magic Hour. And we're going to be talking to him today, and we're going to find out how, what the hell does a director do? What the hell does a line producer do? And we all know what an actor does, but the mystery lies more in the director and line producer today. So we're going to find all about that. But first, I want to tell you, I was coming in, and right before this show, we have a show called Frank Talk, and one of the co-host is a lady who you may know from the Brady Bunch, and is little Cindy Brady, Susan Olsen, and she was coming out, and she had these young hot boys, and I'm like, oh, I got to introduce myself. So I find out that one of the gentlemen is her son, and they have a band, and it's called Seizure. I love that title, Seizure. And they're going to be performing at the Whiskey A Go-Go I think it's Thursday, July 26th. I think it is, at 9:30. So I'm sure that little Cindy Brady or Susan Olsen will be there. Chance to meet her. She's a lovely, lovely person. Very nice, very kind person. The band is Seizure at Whiskey A Go-Go. So check it out this Thursday at 9:30. And then also, I want to tell you again, as you know, I am a judge on several film festivals. One of them is the Burbank International Film Festival, and another one is NSAEN Film Festival, and we are currently accepting film submissions. And you say, what is NSAEN? Well, if you didn't, I'm just going to pretend you did. It stands for No Strings Attached. And it is, we invite both seasoned and new filmmakers and film professionals from around the world to submit entries for this. It's a really exceptional online film festival. And we recognize that there's a growing community of disabled filmmakers, so we enthusiastically invite you, if you are disabled, to participate in our inaugural festival. And we give a portion of every submission to the Cheers to Warriors. It's a 501c nonprofit organization that's primarily, the mission is providing financial assistance through monetary grants to U.S. veterans who've been injured in combat. It's a very, very important cause, and I would highly suggest that you choose my film festival over anyone else's, because I don't know of any other film festivals that give a portion to war veterans. Very important. I mean, not saying there isn't, but don't know any. Now, let's talk about our very first guest, Alain. Actually,
Keep it going.
Oh, Marty.
All right. Okay,
Oh, my goodness.
Settle down.
Oh, my goodness. So, Alan is, let's talk about, well, first of all, Alan moved to California from New Jersey, East Coast. Yes, I'm from Connecticut. After graduating film school in New York in 1994, and he started working in music videos and commercials for 10 years. He became the head writer for Megas XLR on the Cartoon Network for 2 seasons. This was followed by being a story editor on Puka.
That's correct.
Yeah, Puka for Disney Jetix in the UK. He wrote and produced Sasquatch Hunters. Oh, I love that title.
Yeah.
Every time I read titles, I think of porn. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Am I demented or sick? I don't even like porn films, but I
think we're going to turn that one into a porno.
I think that would be a good title. Yeah. And Russ, he's going to audition, because I see him thinking right now.
Well, with a name like Rustin Knudsen, I mean, he's kind of built for it.
He's got it. He's got the Sasquatch thing going on. Sasquatch Hunters was purchased by Sony Home Entertainment for DVD release and aired on the Sci-Fi Channel in 2005. And Alan has directed a number of spec commercials, music videos, demo reels, and now is the writer and director of Magic Hour. Welcome, Alan.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Finally. After 10 years, I've been begging.
Overcompensating for that applause now. Getting a little crazy. He's got one duty, and boy, is he really going for it. All right.
Sure.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Albert, I was wondering if you could maybe get me that little thing we talked about in the car, if you don't mind. And that'll, save us from some applause for at least 5 minutes. He'll be back on that applause button.
Where is it?
It should be in the car on the floor or somewhere. I don't know. I'm looking for my little tripod. I just started getting into this Facebook Live stuff, so forgot my tripod. And
We can
really
use
wanted
Rustin.
Yeah.
He can hold it.
Oh, just don't put me in it.
A lot
Yeah.
of jobs I'm getting now.
I believe that's actually a description of line producer, isn't it?
Hold it.
Hold
yeah.
the camera.
Hold the camera.
Tripod.
when nobody else is there.
Now, can you see yourself?
We see you.
Oh, no. Oh, we don't want that. How do we do that? Oh, Russ, how do you turn it around? Oh,
I
boy.
usually just, yeah.
Oh, there's a little thing.
Yeah, the
okay.
thing. I usually.
Oh, no, it's turned around. Now, is it right?
There he is.
Okay,
That's right.
so I have given Alan as director. He is going to multitask, and he's going to.
I'm just gonna keep it on Rustin.
He is in charge of doing the
I can look
Facebook
serious.
Live. And he looks very, very. I don't know. He is going into the porn look when he's doing that thing with his chin.
Oh, is that what?
Oh,
that is?
you have got the Sasquatch hunter job, right, Alan?
Yeah, without a
He
doubt.
is
I don't even
totally-
need him to audition.
Yeah, that you just passed. So Alan is going to be holding the Facebook Live people. So if anything goes wrong, it's Alan's fault.
Yes.
And he's a director, so this is a test of his skills
Well,
right
that
now.
generally means I don't know how to do anything, and I tell other people what I want.
Wow. Well, let's go into that. No, we briefly talked on the phone, talked out in the lobby about something I was fascinated, this no-budget filmmaking.
Yeah.
And I said to you, so Ellen, what was the budget for your film? And you held up a big 0. And I said, what?
That's right.
And I said, what the hell? Because so many people, of course, would love to do a great film with 0 a film budget, but have it look good, of course, high production value. How does one do that, Alan?
Well, first
No,
let me
maybe-
put this over here.
Russ? Okay, there you go.
All right.
Russ, feel free to get up and move around if you want. Yes, you are in charge.
No, I
Wait a minute, I
the
think
one
this
with
was a
sort of
mistake.
creative control.
That's good. That's a great angle. Look
do a
at
slow-
that. He's also
slow-
auditioning to be your DP, too.
Yeah,
He's doing
seriously.
a great job. So what about, what is this 0? How did you make this film with 0 money? That's impossible.
It is impossible, but what you make up for the lack of money, you spend time. So here's what happened. I spoke to a friend of mine. His name is Anthony Cupo. He's the actual producer of the film, and he's back east in New Jersey. And I said, hey, let's make a movie, because with the way the industry is now, unless you're already rolling in money, you're not going to get any money.
true.
Nobody wants to give you anything unless you've already done something.
Yeah.
And you have to have money to do something.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
you're in that catch-22.
Yeah.
Or unless you just know somebody who's already just going to, squeak you in. So I said, hey, I got this idea. I'm going to write this script, and we're going to make a film for, no money. And we put it together and immediately figured out that it was going to cost about $160,000.
Ooh.
So we're like, well, that completely defeated the purpose of what we had intended to do. So while we started to figure out how we were going to find money for that film, I got really impatient, and I was like, you know what, screw it. This time I'm going to write a film that literally will cost us no money. It's going to be a feature film, and I'm going to figure out, what I have and use what I have. And I think that's where it comes into play, where you can do something if you just figure out what your film is going to be based on what you already have. What don't you have to pay for? So I knew what I didn't have to pay for was my apartment, Rustin's apartment, people whose homes I could use. Or I said, I'm going to write something that takes place in the middle of the night out on the streets around where I live. So we're just going to run around with our camera at, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's going to take place at night. And it's, and then I'll find actors that, are really hungry and want to, have a good part, So you find things, you write a story around what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not going to have anything lit. It's all going to be practical lighting. So we don't need equipment. The DP I had his own equipment, and he was willing to put in the time, because
Right.
he also wanted to, put together his own reel. He wanted to, put himself out there, and he wanted stuff to shoot, and it was exciting for him because he got to kind of really play around with just street lamps and lighting in your apartment, and still made it look phenomenal, So what you really end up doing is you write around what you already have.
Okay.
And then you end up spending very little. Now, I had to spend a little bit of money here and there, but, if I'm talking, I need some breakaway glass.
Yeah.
That's going to cost me $75 or, whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't think we came even close to spending $1,000.
No.
Yeah. Now, Alan is looking, if you're looking at this, you see Alan looking to his left. He's looking at the gorgeous Russ, because Russ is the line producer. He looked to him to kind of, turn that right on you, Russ. This is a guerrilla style, a guerrilla style Facebook Live.
Awkward for me.
Yeah, it's kind of tilted. I don't know how to get
I
it
don't
not
know.
tilted,
I don't know
but
what
do
it
the
works
best
at.
you can.
It's oblique. Oh, look who's here. Look who's
Oh,
here.
it's Briza! Oh my gosh! Hey!
Okay,
Briza!
Rustin, get the hell out of here. We don't need you.
No, absolutely not. Albert is going to give her the headphones. Yeah, and then you can, scoot more towards Albert, and then Russ is in charge of the Facebook Live. So show that Briza has come. That's Briza! Hey! Oh my God! Look at that gorgeous hair. I want to scalp her ass right now and put it right on my head.
And
It's
you know
beautiful.
what? That is not the first time someone said that to
Oh,
me.
it's
Wow.
Pantene.
It's
It's
sculpting.
Pantene hair. It's beautiful. Oh,
Thank you so
oh
much.
gosh. Okay, so we were talking, Briza. We just started talking to Alan, and Alan was explaining how he did his film with practically no money. So we had turned to Russ, and Russ is, as line producer, is going to answer that question. Your input, Russ.
Oh, well, I mean, the first thing is it's like Alan was saying, you have to grab the resources that you have. So one thing, when we started out, just for instance, it seems really minor, but it's kind of funny. I have a camera. I have a DSLR. I can't remember what it is. It's a Canon 60D, I think. And it's like, okay, well, we have a camera. It's not the greatest camera in the world, but we have a camera.
Yeah.
Then, somebody, is Maurice correct? That, yeah, right? So
Yeah,
that's
Maurice,
how-
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we connected up to a better camera, different DP, and it's like, okay, then that takes some of the weight off of my shoulders, but we had it going in that we could have done it that way. And some of the reshooting, some of the small shots we've had to do on mine, but little practical things like that. I mean, in terms of advice, I wouldn't really know where to begin, other than that you have to pull from whatever resources you can, if you have any.
When Alan came to you and said, "I want to do this film and I have zero budget," what did you say?
Oh, well, I mean, because as you probably read from the short bio that I sent, I don't really do very much in entertainment. I always wanted to, but so I've done very minor amount of stuff, and I think we had started. Because we live in the same building, it was like, oh, you like doing this? I got a camera. So we started doing some small shorts together, and then, which we never really have finished any of them. But then we moved on to the film, as he was talking about, and then eventually this one popped up, and it's like, okay, let's just do something. Let's just get something done.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of there's no reason not to be able to do it now with the equipment that's available to the general public.
The apps, the technology.
You can shoot on a iPhone. And, anybody, your computer that you buy at the store comes with editing software. So now, you still have to write a good story, and you still have to have good characters. And yeah, there's things you can do. You want your stuff to look good and sound good.
Right.
But in today's age, it's really just a question of get up and do it, if that's what you want to do. And it takes time, you know. I mean, we all have day jobs. It's not, everybody has to, work around everybody else's schedule, and then trying to figure out when we can all get together and do it. And I think we ended up shooting over the course of a couple months.
Yeah.
Mostly at night.
Always at night.
Well, not always.
Always?
And then there was that one day at the end
Right.
there where we got to see the sun come up. It's just a question of how much you want to commit to it, and are you ready to sit down and just do the work. And you know, I think at some point we all wore every hat that there is on a film crew, you know, whether it's holding the boom, running the sound, a reflector just to try and get a little light to bounce off something. You know, we all just did it.
Acting.
Yeah.
And
And that is definitely what I recommend, because when you start out, if you do want to be a director or a producer, you should always try to get a job as a production assistant. That way you'll learn the production assistant job, but it is so important to know everybody's function. You really shouldn't try to travel and just say, oh, I'm a producer, and then rely on everybody else to do your work, because they may not have the same style as you, or they may not get it done the way you really want it done. But if you can't effectively communicate via their tech, their language, or knowing what the job is, then you can't tell somebody else to do a job, right? I mean, how the hell do you do that?
That also goes for actors. I feel like actors should get some PA
Briza,
jobs.
come a little closer, sweet.
Oh, here
Pull
we
that
go.
real close so you
Sorry.
both share that. Briza. By the way, I hope we didn't butcher your name. We said Covarrubias.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And
Yes.
you can
it's actually
find...
pronounced Smith.
real quick, we check Briza out. We did all this earlier, but check Briza out on Instagram at the Breeze Nest, _BRIZNES.
Yes, at the Breeze
That's
Nest.
Instagram, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, well, that's across the board. But I did want to reiterate the whole. You do need to get these jobs as a PA or holding the boom or holding the sound. I definitely, after working on this project, I also did produce a web series while this was going on. It inspires you, you know. And as an actor, you have to respect these jobs. They're the ones that create the story. You're just another member of this beautiful creation that we're doing. And I think as actors, we forget, we're so in our craft that we need to also remind ourselves there are other jobs there that can help create a story. And, you know, when you have friends and people who ask you to help out, why not do it and learn right on the job? You know,
That's
fake it
right.
till you make it a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely. Now, Alan, did anyone ever discourage you from becoming a director? Did someone say, are you out of your mind, Alan? Why would you want to ever do that?
You might not know this to look at me, but I do come from the East Coast, and I do have a hefty Jewish side of my family. So when I was told, when I said that I didn't want to be either a lawyer or a doctor,
What are you, crazy? You're
did
making me schwitz over here.
You were there.
I'm coming.
you were there.
Oh.
But you know, my family has always supported me. You know, my dad once, I was a terrible student, and my dad once said to me, I don't know where the hell you're going to go to college. And I was like, same, you know, I'm kind of feeling that. I don't know either, because I don't really want to go to school. And then we found, we went to a college fair and saw nothing. So as we were literally leaving, there was a table right towards the exit for a place called the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. And I just barely got into it. When I got into that school, film schools were kind of becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to get into it a year or two later. I don't even know if I really got into it officially when I was there. I think it was just I just lucked out. Yeah, I just started showing up. But what was you know, my family has always supported me. You know, they've always been, and I've always been surrounded by friends who kind of wanted to do the same thing, or were just very supportive of what I wanted to do. You know, back in high school, me and my friends would shoot stupid things on video. And you know, and we always just had fun, and they always knew that regardless of what they were going to do, I was the one who was going to go out to California, and I was going to try and get into the film industry. So it's just always been my thing since like 5 years old.
And what do you feel are the pros and cons of being a film director out here in California? Because it's different from New York or any other place. It really is.
Well,
Give me 3 pros.
Well,
obviously, you get the title. I'm a director. Mama, look.
Everybody wants
I'm a
to
director.
hold your hand or sleep with you, so that's pretty cool, right?
Harvey Weinstein.
I directed a music video years ago, and the guy who he performed at a club, and I went to go see him, and he said, "Hey, I just did a music video, and the director's here." And, you know, as soon as he got off the stage, I was talking to him, and some woman just like crammed herself between us, and she was like, "Oh my God, so you're a director?" and I just couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't have been smooth even if I wanted to, because I just thought it was so ridiculous. But the pros, there's one pro to directing. Well, I mean, I guess there's two. One, if you're successful, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's great. Everybody wants to make a lot of money. I'm not successful, so, you know, I don't make a lot of money. So, you know, I'm still struggling like, you know, a lot of other people. But the big pro to me is that if you love it, and I think this goes across the board in the film industry in every way, if you're doing what you love to do, it really is incredibly fun. It's just incredibly satisfying. You know, as a writer and a director, that's what I love to do. So when I'm doing it, and when things are falling apart around me, and we're about to get kicked out of our location, you know, I still have 6 shots, and I'm like, okay, you know, I got to figure out, you know, what am I going to cut? You know, what do I just absolutely need? You know, but we still make it work. You know, it's just incredibly satisfying. You know, so loving what you do is the thing. Now, if you don't love it,
Do
it.
yeah, you know, I've worked as a PA. You know, I've worked behind the scenes. I've helped other departments, and it's grueling work. And if you don't love it, you're just like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, but it is important to know what each department does.
It's so important.
And yeah,
What now? Everything is so expensive to make a film, and I think you're the writer on this. We're going to talk about Magic Hour. We're saving it. It's so magical. We're saving it. Let's talk about Magic Hour. Okay. So everything's expensive. How do you prioritize? Because I think you're the screenwriter, director, and I don't know about also a producer. But...
I let Anthony Cupo handle that.
Okay.
I was like, I hate producing.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. So how did you, as a director, I guess maybe we'll talk. How did you prioritize when you're on a budget? You know the budget, so it's a little different because sometimes, you know, when you have an executive producer or producer, it's like they get the money and then all you have to worry about directing. But with you being the writer and director, it's a little different. So hopefully you have a team like the gorgeous Russ here, but just in case
you want me to leave the room,
but just in case you don't have a team and you have to do it all yourself, what do you do? Like for first-time filmmakers, what do you recommend?
Here's my biggest bit of advice regarding that. And this kind of goes back to the first idea: use what you have, but know what you have, and know what it's going to cost. So.
And that happens in writing, because as you said earlier, when you're writing, if you don't have a big budget, then write for things that are no budget.
Right. It costs zero money to go out and shoot without a tripod. Because if you get a tripod, you're going to start needing a permit.
I know.
So, you know, but now everybody's got these handheld gimbals and everything. So, you know, it's, you know, and steady cams and things like that people can just get.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to get by. You know, you don't always need to have a tripod. But, you know, I wrote it to be cheap. I wrote it to be cheap. I mean, that's just it. You know, I knew that, you know, once we all agreed that the script was done, all we would have to worry about was the directing and the acting and the cinematography. And you have to go into it knowing that. Don't write something
like
and car chases.
You know, like some Tom Cruise skyscraper
you know,
scenes.
Don't write something that you know you're not going to have and that you then say, well, this is, okay, now that I've got all these big things, now I'll pull back. It's like, well, no, now you can't pull back because now your story is dependent on these set pieces you've written, and now you're saying you're going to remove those set pieces. So what do you have? You know, so write what you have and focus on the character, focus on the story, and make that solid. And then the other stuff is just eye candy anyway. Yeah. You know, so if you have people like Briza and our other lead, Maurice, and all the talented people that we had in the film and behind the scenes, they're going to carry it. You know, you don't need all that spectacle. In fact, Magic Hour is a film that, if it was done by Hollywood, would be a big spectacle film. We're what's happening somewhere else, you know, while the spectacle's happening somewhere else. So
tell us, what is Magic Hour about? We're at that point. We're at the Magic Hour.
Magic Hour.
It's happening right now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Snap this.
This is my porno voice.
That's good.
Maybe I can get some voiceover
better
work too.
Better porno voice.
Magic Hour is a love story. and it takes place on the eve of the apocalypse.
Oh.
The world is about to end, and it is about.
You always have to get a quickie in.
It's about
I'm with you on that.
our young couple, half of which is
Briza got a
Briza.
quickie in. Oh, all right.
There's plenty of story about that in the Story to Magic Hour.
There is?
There is. So it, it's a love story that takes place on the eve of the apocalypse. The moon is crashing to the earth, and it's going to blow us all to hell. And it's about a young couple who want to spend their last night together. They get separated in just a little area of LA, and they try to get back together and find each other before it, so they can be together should the world end like it's supposed to.
And we don't want to tell how they got separated because that would be, you got to watch it to find that out.
That's right. I got to be selective.
I don't know why I saw like an insert zombie scene in there, because I saw a movie where they got split up and it was a zombie that was chasing them, but there's no zombies.
We
in
don't
this
have
one.
zombies.
No zombies. in
This apocalypse is caused by the moon, and no undead.
Wow. Now, when you say that, when you say apocalypse caused by the moon, and then you just told me that you don't have like a huge budget, I already see like a very high production value for something like Apocalypse and what you're saying.
That's
How did you possibly make it seem like there was tension and there was all of these things that should happen during an apocalypse with no money?
Well, it goes back to what do you have access to? And
so now it's made me
resources.
even more curious to see it, because it's like, wow, especially for an aspiring filmmaker, because they're like, what? Alan did this with practically no budget, and there's an apocalypse, and there's this. So now it makes people want to see it even more.
I hope so, and I hope that people are impressed by it. My feeling on making a film, because you're never going to make everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
So I think, okay, well, what do I like? This is what I like.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to make what I like, and people who
Right.
like it will like it. People
That's
who won't.
important.
My mother will probably never like any film I ever make in my life, because she thinks they're too violent, they're too gory,
So what if somebody came to you, though, and they said, we really like what you did with Magic Hour. I want to pay you an insert, a huge amount of money, but it's a subject matter that you hate, absolutely hate. But you're going to get fame and recognition and fortune.
Well, here's what I would have to say.
And women are contortionists all around you as a perk.
Subject matter with that.
Right. What do you do, Alan?
Well, here's what I would do. I would say, sure.
All right. Because you could get experience out of
look,
it.
man,
There's experience coming from anywhere.
Yeah, I will always take something and make it my own.
Yeah.
Okay, and there are certain filmmakers who are very talented at giving the studio what they want. They're very they're the filmmakers who they're reliable. They know what they're doing. They're going to get their big budgets and they're going to do their thing. And then you have other filmmakers who are known because you don't tell them what to do, but when you hire this guy, they're going to make their kind of film.
Right.
And I hope that that's what I develop.
Right.
When somebody asks me, you wanted to write a love story, so you wrote this, crazy, quirky, violent, apocalyptic movie, and that's a love story. And I'm like, to me, it's an incredible love story. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's really a romantic story.
Oh, good. Well, we definitely want to see that. Now, last
But
question.
I had to have the apocalypse.
You had to have the apocalypse love story. I don't think there's many of them. I am looking forward to this. So, last question, and we're going to move on to Russ. Actors obviously know how to market, and today social media is your business card, and actors are very good at promoting and networking and marketing themselves for their projects. But I have come across a lot of directors that don't really feel like they want to do that. They don't want to really do the business side of it. They just want to direct. I have found that just in my small amount of dealings with you, you're an incredible promoter. You really have promoted. Just coming on the show today, you did excellent cross promotion. You really seem to be involved and understand that you can't just have the title of director and not do anything with it. So any tips, how do you successfully market and network yourself as a director to get other projects? One, we know you got to market yourself via social media, but what else can a director do?
Yeah, and on the social media tip, actually, when we first started, I had to go to Briza because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I do this? And she gave me tips. And like you said, she's really good at it.
Yeah.
So she
actors tend to, they love that.
She taught me.
What actor doesn't like to promote themselves?
Exactly.
I mean, you wouldn't be an actor.
Exactly.
It's hard to do that. Some people, there's a stigma about, this ego and putting it out there. But unfortunately, now you have more tools to really put your craft out there. And so, I mean, obviously, I love the story. That's why I'm here. And I remember just telling Alan, like, Alan, I will take over. You tell me what this is, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, it's okay. Just tell me what to do. And I was like, okay. And I was literally like, you need to do this. You need to hashtag this. You need to do this. I went to school for
he has some serious hatags going on. You did a good job, Briza.
Like, tag the actors. The actors are going to want to, put it out there. So, this is such a great
And that's great that you, as an actress on this project, are involved in helping and more than just being an actor. There are so many actors come in, do the part, and they roll out. They're on to the next project, and they don't think about the last one. They really don't. They just want to get their IMDb credit, and that's it. And that's not how it is. Because those people, you don't know what's going to happen to those people that you just worked on a film. They could blow up and, be hired by a major studio, and they're going to remember that you did what you did for Alan with the social media, right?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
No, she taught me. So, when it came time to start doing the social media, I got a lot of help there. And my wife Candy, she did as well. She would always tell me, she's like, you're just not hashtagging enough.
Candy was funny. Candy was funny. She was on you.
She rode me hard when it came to that. And she'd be like, you missed this hashtag. Why aren't you hashtagging Hollywood? Young Hollywood. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, I'll do it. But in terms of getting it out there, there's no point in me doing this if I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to come to me because nobody knows I exist.
Right.
So, if I want this to be successful, I need to put it out there. I have no choice but to put it out there. If, I had Warner Brothers behind me with the $45 million budget promoting the film, hey, great, then I don't really need to do anything. But I don't. The only way I'm going to get anybody to know about it is post about it on social media and show people and see if I can get people to look at it. And that's what we're doing. And the other part of your question, my goal ultimately for the film is, we wanted to go to film festivals. We know
we're in post-production now.
We're in post-production, and it's taking a little longer than we had intended. But our goal is to really have time and money. Well, no money,
time
so lots
and
of time.
Money.
Time and no money. So editing. I've done editing. We're bringing on some editors to help. There are some visual effects that we have people working on, and
And for these things, may I offer some advice? Like what Alan is talking about, there's always going to be things that pop up that you need pickup shots. There's always something. So when you are budgeting for this, or talking a non-zero budget, when you have money or you're trying to get money, please, please, please factor in that you have to have money for, as we're talking about post-production. I mean, you have to have money for obviously other things, but post-production, a lot of people forget, after you make the film, you're not finished with it. You have to think about submitting to film festivals and doing promotion. And these film festivals are crazy ass expensive. And and then say you're at a film festival and somebody goes, oh my gosh, I love your film. I want to distribute it for you. And you think, oh, you hear stars and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to get a hand on the star on the Walk of Fame. But you know what? If you don't have a certain amount of money for that distribution deal, it's not going to happen. And a lot of people forget to put aside money for the distribution. They're not going to pay for everything. There's a lot of fees that are involved if you get a distribution deal that you are required to have. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, people need to think about that. So you are almost finished, and then after post-production, you go to, obviously people should know what pre-production and production and post-production is, but you're in post-production. What do you expect? You'll be wrapping it up, and then what are you going to do next?
Our goal is to be done by the end of the year so that we can hit the 2019 film festivals.
Yeah.
Whatever film festivals.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of local ones in LA, obviously a lot of local ones in New York.
Yes. And please, people, pick film festivals that, one, you can afford, because you've already started saving money. And also, for new filmmakers, find people who either work at a film festival, who have friends at film festivals. Somebody's like, hey, if I can submit to your film festival, you think you can be seen? Because we've already talked many times on the show about how, honestly, filmmakers, when you submit and you pay your hard-earned money, the films don't always get viewed because there are so many submissions. And, we got to be straight up and honest with you. Nepotism is involved in every aspect of life. So you got to remember that the people who own the film festivals, the priority is going to go to the friends and family first and the name talent. So they have a small amount of slots. So you want to submit to friends and family. It might be able to put in a good word for you. And also, please pick film festivals that the priority is the genre of your film. If you have a horror film, do not go submitting it to a comedy film festival. It's just not going to work. So think about the genre. Very, very important. So, so we are going to move on to Rustic Russ.
Yeah.
And let's turn that around on the gorgeous... the gorgeous, sexy.
Our favorite hipster.
Real quick. Favorite hipster. Right. Rusty, as we said earlier, he is a line producer. So he is, a lot of people ask me, what the hell is a line producer? They don't really know what a line producer is, what they do. Real quick, if I can find it, I think we have a little bio for Rusty. Real quick, he graduated from the University of Colorado in 2005. Go fight 'em Buffaloes, whoever the Buffaloes are.
I just made that up.
I don't know if it's a slogan. I agree with you, but it sounds right. He came to LA and he said he failed horribly in a half-assed attempt at becoming a filmmaker. Oh my gosh, he worked for Hustler magazine. I have a friend that works there now in the IT department. And he delivered he worked for marijuana. He worked for Hustler magazine, delivered marijuana. I love it. Yeah. You can deliver some right to our house after this show.
I was not aware of any of this, mister.
These are the career choices I couldn't bring up to family members.
What happened to our rap party?
I know, you didn't contribute and bring a damn thing, you cheap ass.
I have a bunch of old magazines. That's
Severance package.
And he said that he also frequently fought with his then girlfriend and business partner as they failed horribly at owning a small business. He's so honest and pure and organic. I love it. He said that he settled now into a career as a digital marketing something or another. We don't know, because he loves sitting in meetings where people speak inane business jargon. Yay! Who doesn't love that? Yeah! Woo! You are really funny. Have you ever thought of being a script writer?
I mean, I've written some.
You're very funny.
It's
I've seen his scripts. Don't encourage him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, because
I think he's funny. Oh my God! That actually is. Oh my gosh! So, real quick, what are the duties and responsibilities of a line producer?
Well, I mean, to be completely transparent, it's not anything that I've done on a big scale. But basically, when it comes to doing line producing, it's a lot of logistics. It's a lot of understanding what you're supposed to do if you have a budget, what you're supposed to do with that money in terms of where it's supposed to go in pre-production, in production, in post-production, which I have not been doing my job in post-production, but it's been a little bit difficult because a lot of the editors on the East Coast, and Anthony is handling that right now more than I am. But that's kind of it. So for this film,
and all the scheduling.
Yeah, you got to keep things on budget. You got to make sure.
When we were shooting, he was the he made sure that all our talent knew where and when to be, and that if we did if it was somebody else's house
Yeah.
or something, that okay, this is when we're showing up. And
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things too. It's the one thing I do know is on a set, depending on the personalities involved, people can have different jobs, and they can often sort of eclipse one another. So a
Right.
lot of what you might do as a line producer will start to blend into what maybe an AD does.
Yeah,
but
because I
not-
was hearing that thinking AD.
Yeah, but it's not, depending on who the AD is and who the line producer is or which line producer you have, who works in the art department. I mean, there's just whatever. I mean, there are directors that show up to the set just so there's a name
Yeah.
as a director, and then there are other directors that are very hands-on from the beginning to the end of the film, the auteur. So, it just depends. For a more technical explanation of what a line producer is, it's just really just figuring out how to connect what needs to be done with what the director wants to have done from the beginning to the end of the film process. So you don't really work on more than one film at a time. You're not supposed to.
Wow. Okay.
So.
Perfect. Well, there you go. So, do you like being a line producer?
It's all right. I think
what I really want to do is direct.
no. Well, I guess I'm going to be a male porn star here. pretty
Yeah,
soon.
that's
But,
right.
no.
Sasquatch hunter.
We'll fill you in.
It was way in the beginning.
No. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do you like being a
Oh,
line producer?
I think it's like many things
See,
in
wait
film.
a minute, Alan. I think that he still has that job as marijuana deliverer.
Oh, I
He's
wish.
like, what's that
I wish.
question?
No, but I think it's like everything in film. I think the job would be great. It would be a great job if you have money.
Okay,
That
so
much I'm
it's
gonna
definitely
say. Trying
a
to get
pro.
people to do things for free is already difficult, and then trying to get them to wrangle their schedules. Let's say you're an AD or a line producer, and trying to wrangle schedules for free that can be a little bit difficult.
Oh, it's
because
challenging.
you can't really tell people like, if you're not going to get paid. It's like, well, we weren't going to get paid anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's true.
That's
So,
good.
I guess you're not coming.
Very challenging job.
yeah.
Excitement, titillation.
It's very titillating.
Don't know if you're going to get killed or anything.
Well,
you never know.
and then every once in a while, that's supposed, we did have a couple of run-ins with people, maybe just that one night, and I think like that was the
Yeah.
syrup.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably my job to diffuse it, and of course I didn't because I'm not very good at confrontation, so I just walked away while somebody got angry. For shooting it. But yeah, that's by and large, that's what you do. Would I like to do it? Yeah, I think it would be great, but again, it would be a little bit easier with some kind of money going on.
Oh, yeah, it is. But you're learning because the techniques that you're learning now is going to help you when you do have a budget.
I mean,
you're going to say, hey, we can do it this way.
I
because
have fantasies about me putting my feet up on a desk with a big cigar and saying, back when we were doing.
Yeah,
when we did
back
it,
when we
back
worked for
first
old
started.
Alan Matz.
But that's-
Alan
We
Matz?
got it
Oh, my
done.
goodness.
But you bring up a good point, and to his point, that's part of what we're doing.
Yes.
Oh, my God, sorry. We got to move on real quick.
Oh,
Breeza,
okay, Breeza.
Turn it on Breeza real quick. Breeza, how do you love being a part of the project?
Oh, I love it. I'm really grateful at how the casting happened. I got involved because of Maurice, my co-lead, and I read the script and I immediately fell in love, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it. And from the beginning, I was committed to it, and those long nights. Let me tell you, this project really.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus, God. Breeze, I'm so sorry. We would have got you in earlier, but I want to thank you so much. Go to @the_breezeness. Yes, Russ does not have a damn website. We don't know what he's doing on there.
I work in digital marketing, but I don't like it.
Yes, and then check out Alan on Facebook at The Magic Film Hour.
Just go to Magic Hour Film.
Magic Hour Film.
And on Facebook, you can find links to all the other social media platforms.
Yes.
And on Instagram and all of them.
Yes, and follow everybody. They're fun people. Thank you so much, everybody. Say goodbye to your fans.
Bye, fans.
Russ, say goodbye to your fans.
Bye, fans.
Bye, fans.
And everybody who's not.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Oh, let me get it. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.